Hey guys, and welcome along to another video. This one is a little bit of a continuation on from the last one, in that I ran into a problem, and you're going to find out what was maybe causing the problem in this. I don't know, but it could be age, it may not be. Anyway guys, it's going to be an interesting ride, and we get into the Pico and the Tang Nano and all that into this one. Grab yourself a drink, something to snack on if you want, and a comfy chair. Don't get tucked in and fall asleep, okay? Anyway, let's get on with it. Well guys, we're back at the Spectra video from the last take on this. Where we got it all back and working again. Tried the Pico on it, and when I put it in, I had it that way around on the board, and apparently pin 1 is this end, is down this end of the cable, so I need to have taken it out and put it the other way around. That's why I was getting nothing on the screen. Now this works very much the same as the Tang Nano does, in that if you put it in back to front, it shouldn't damage the board or hurt the board. But when I took it out and put it the right way around, I still had nothing, and I'd lost the sound and everything. So I put the proper 9918 TMS chip in it, nothing. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I'd damaged that chip somehow. So I put a brand new 9929 in there, which is backwards compatible and pin compatible. Nothing. So I did a bit of looking around on the board, and the only thing I could put it down to was the sound chip on it, the 8910, I think it is, or it's the SVI-328 may have gone, because there's no clicking from the sound or anything. The voltages are there, the voltages are on all the chips. I ended up getting one and replacing the AY3 sound chip, and it now boots. So it boots up and goes into Windows fine. I did pop this back in, and the right way round this time, and when I popped it back in and plugged it into the VGA, all I got on the screen down the bottom was the Pico 9918 on the bottom of the left hand side of the screen, and that was it. I got nothing else on the screen, no graphics, no nothing. So I'm just picking if there's something in the code that's not quite right for this. Sent some pictures. I will put those pictures up for you guys as well. I've sent some pictures to him to let him know, and a bit of a message on what it was doing and letting him know, and then showing him it running with the TMS 9918 standard VDP chip in it, and it was working fine on the screen. Just to prove it, I will fire this up for you guys and I will show you, just so you can see it. I just got to make sure this power cord plays nice. So we're just starting up there now, and there we are. That's what we've got. So we're running with the 9918 proper video chip in it, so that seems to be working fine. Oh, and there's me knocking the wire, and it's reset itself again. And that's what I'm saying with these, is those sockets are not nice. I mean, if it didn't detract from it as a collectible item, I would almost say to remove them and put a different socket in them. But you can't get them anymore. Well, not that I know of. I haven't had a good search online to see if anything similar is available. But it might be worth having a look at. But getting anything made would be just far too expensive. So anyway, as we see, that works. Unfortunately, the Pico didn't work. So hopefully we will get that working again very soon. The other good thing I have is from Tony Cruz from Electric Adventures over in Australia. Sent me over a nice little trial unit of his latest and greatest arcade classics of the 70s. And it's a cartridge game for Spectra Video. He's also done one for the MSX and for the ColecoVision as well. So he's done one for that. We'll have a look at this in a second. I've just got to move the cameras around. Okay guys, because I got to muck around with the camera, I'll set this bit up first. And I'll put the cartridge in and I'll turn it on. Don't know how well this is going to come out on here. I think we're going to get a way better picture on the HDMI. I'll just try and knock this down a little bit, not too much. Yeah, the camera's sort of is bleeding it out a little bit, but I think we'll get a way better picture on the HDMI when we do it. Anyway, that looks fairly good on the screen at the moment. When I look at it, it's actually really dark, but never mind. So as you see, there's 3 games. There's Lunar Rescue, Depth Charge, and Stunt Cycle. As you can see, we just cycle around the games we want to play. So we'll go there, and the keys are fairly simple on it. They're either a joystick with the fire button, or you can use the arrow keys on the keyboard and the space bar. So we'll select, comes up, insert coin, so we just press the space bar for that. And there we are, we're starting up now. Oh, hit that one. Got to be a little bit better than that. Then we land and we take off. So when we're flying up, we can actually shoot the aliens and actually kill them. Oh, we didn't make it in time. Oh well, it's all part of the trial and error, I would say. Hopefully we won't hit anything on the way up. We hit it again. Oh well, I'm not too good on that, I don't think. So what we'll do is we'll try one of the other games. And as I said, once I put this onto the HDMI, I think you're going to see a really big difference in it. Depth charge. It's a little dark, so we'll try and brighten it up a little bit. Doing a little bit better at this one. Doing a little bit better at that one than I was at the other one. And we'll have a quick look at the last one, Stunt Rider. Whoa, I don't know what, yeah, okay. Too fast, maybe? Okay. Not too good at that game either. Alright guys, I'll stick you around the other side and we'll just have a look at the cartridge and all the instructions and that come with it, because I've got to open the machine up and put the VDP and that into it, so we just have to hang on for a few seconds for that. Right, back again guys, so put some light on the subject. Very nice box. Tony's done a really nice job at packaging this up. Really nice box, like the old big box games used to do back in the day. So it's has a foam insert in there so that the cartridge doesn't rock around. So when the cartridge is in the box, and here's the cartridge, the labels look really good too. So it's the front and the top. So really good cartridges, nice artwork, and it comes with the foam insert, stop everything rattling around. And then out of here you get a certificate of authenticity from him and his company, Electric Adventures, and then you get a colour printed manual as well, all about the game, how to contact them, who has the credits for the game, and you go through. Nice little A5 book with all the instructions, very easy to read. And as I say, it's the 3 games on here, so you can actually see the colours. Now I'm expecting the vivid colours on here to be like that on the HDMI when we bring it up on there. It's just that the old Commodore CRT is probably getting a bit long in the tooth, and the graphics aren't that great on it. But yeah, as I say, the games are really easy to play. Here we go. On the MSX and the Spectra Video computer, press 1 to 9 keys on the keyboard for difficulty. And that is probably what I wasn't doing, so I didn't need to read the manual. But yes, no, it's a really nice game. I need to sit down and have a bit of play with it, but I've got so many other things to catch up on and do. It's not funny. But yes, thank you very much for that, Tony. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. And hopefully you got more stuff coming out in future months as well. I know you got a new book coming out soon for, was it the Coleco or the MS6 you were releasing a book out for? So if you're interested in that sort of stuff on programming the machines, he has one out already for the Spectra Video and the MSX, I think, and I think it's the Coleco one that he's got coming out very shortly. Keep an eye out. He's got a lot of stuff. He also does stuff on cassette as well, I believe. Have to check up on that with him. I'm not 100% sure, but he used to be able to do it on cassette as well. Have a look and check him out. Electric Adventures on YouTube, Tony Cruz. He's also on Facebook If you have a look under the Australian computer users, the Spectra Video users group, MSX users group, he even lurks around the New Zealand Vintage Computer group as well, where I'm in. Check him out. He's got some really, really awesome stuff. And he has his fingers in a lot of different areas, more so than I do. I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. This is working fine now, and as you saw with the game, that's pretty cool. So now what I got to do is I just got to sort this out so I can put the HDMI and that in it, and we'll give it another go. It's in the evening over here at the moment, so I don't know if I'll get it done. I might have to wait until tomorrow because it's the weekend here. Get the time to throw it in here and fire it all up. And when it does, we'll do it on the big screen over there, the one that's recording everything, and see what the colours look like. That'd be pretty cool. I'm picking, you're gonna be impressed. I was when I tried it with just the Spectra video starting up when I put the Tang in it, but to see some of these games in there would be a big difference. The other thing I got to look at is I have the Coleco adapter for this as well, and it's a working one. They're very far and few between. And on a recent haul of bits I got, I've actually got the MSX add-on for this as well, which has a unit a bit like the ColecoVision that plugs into the back that turns it into an MSX. It doesn't use much of this other than the power and the video out and the sound. A lot of it's like has a miniature keyboard and joystick ports and a cartridge slot on it. So it's basically an MSX that plugs into the expansion port on here. But they are far and few between. I have not seen many. This is the first one I've had in my hands since I've known about it. Or since I've known about Spectra Video. Along with another thing I got with the pile of gear I picked up was a Spectra Video printer. Dot matrix. I never knew they made one. But yes, in the box. So I've got that as well. That's plugged away because it's a big, heavy, clunky thing, and it's not the sort of thing you want to have on the bench hammering away while you're trying to record. Anyway, guys, what I will do is I will move all this stuff out of the way. I will sort out that large screen, put the Tang in here, and we'll have a look and see what the graphics look like. I think you'll be impressed. Righty, so we'll see you shortly. Hey guys, so before we get on to the VDP, I've got it in here and I've got the LVA on it. So I'm going to show you about these cables. Now, these are the standard lengths that I get. And I think they were 300 or 250, something like that. And on the standard VDP, like this, they are too long. So I think the length was 100 mil, which is about there. And that was about there. And that was about as long as you could go with them before you started having issues with noise or no picture. Because it would come up with a boot screen, but you wouldn't get the picture of the boot screen of the PC. You'd only get the Tang Nano boot screen. And I found out that it was interference on the cable with the length. And because he would say to me, oh, you know, you need to keep it short because there is a problem with the frequency with the length. So, I mean, that was the one that I'd made up as a test one with some aluminium foil. And I just put clear tape over it to hold it up. But the other stuff I was telling you about was, oh, if I can get the right way around, just so it's not, and that's it there, aluminium foil tape. And this is what it looks like. It comes in a roll. It has a backing on it. It's got a backing on the back of the tape. And that's a foil. Now, I don't know if that's conductive or whether it has a plastic over it. I mean, I suppose we could take a multimeter and do a check on it. But what I generally do is I'll stick it on here, go the whole length down, and then it will fold over onto the other side. And then I'd put clear tape across it, and that's what I would do. So we'll do that with this one. So I just got to make it it's about the right length. And I use this stuff all the time out in the garden with my sheds that I have all my bits and pieces stored in. I use it for going around the corners and that, and stopping the rain and the moisture and stuff getting into the corners, because I do find that even those metal sheds, they do leak. They're not 100%. Go a little bit past it. I'm not going very straight down this, guys. I'm not going very straight down the back of it. Never mind. So long as it goes around itself, so we can insulate, that's all we're really worried about. And then if we get that, then we should be able to just fold it over to the other side. That, and then we might have to put a little bit more on there, not quite enough to go right across. I'll show you in a sec. Just finish folding this over. It's just not quite wide enough to do the whole ribbon. What a bugger. So there you go. As you can see, there's that little grey strip down the middle there. It doesn't quite reach. If you want it to be 100% sure, I would say just put another piece down the middle and wrap it round the other way, because we don't need a full length. So I mean, I could always just fold it in half and then cut half of the width of the tape and then stick that down. So just fold her in half, and then I'll cut that in half, and then I'll just cover up that other piece, I think. And just by cutting it, folding it in half, it gives me the width I need, and so I'm not cutting it too narrow. I haven't got my glasses on, so it's a bit hard to see the edge. Alright, let's got that. So we go that. On top of that. That's better. It's better. That. Down to there. Alright, so we don't need that little end bit. And because it is a foil, it's actually really easy to cut it with your nail when it's on. So I just went through and just tear it with my nails to get it to where the header is. So there we go, and then that's it insulated, and then we shouldn't get any interference from the electronics around it now. But what I'll do is I'll just get the multimeter and we'll just have a quick check and see if this is conductive or not. If it's not conductive, then it means I don't need to put the clear tape on it. No. And it is. I had an idea it was conductive. It's very similar sort of stuff that they use for doing ducting and stuff like that. Some of you guys in the UK and the States and that, they use the wider stuff of this for doing venting and heat ducting and that in houses and stuff. So it's that type of stuff. So Go on there. So I'm just putting the clear tape, over it now, just so if it makes contact with anything inside the PC, it's not going to short. That's why I'm putting the clear tape over it. A little bit down. I'll just do a strip. I'm not going to worry about cutting this one in half. Not on the clear tape anyway. Right, now, and that's all done. So I've got the clear tape over that as well now. And with the clear tape, as always, I let it go at the end, and then I don't know where it finishes. There it is. Right, so those are done. So that's all set to go now, so I'll put those out the way. That's our cable, that's rubbish. That's a bit of tape. Now, with the HDMI, I've got this in here just so it won't short on anything, just in case. The only thing to remember is when you're putting these in, this is the Mark II board, which is a bigger board, but it runs on this lead so that you can put it anywhere else in the case you want to. And so, generally these header pins, you only need one set of these pins and one set of these pins to plug in. And it's pin for pin, so pin 1 on here goes to pin 1 on here. So when you put your cable in, you just make sure you know which way around it is, because you're going directly pin for pin on the opposite side. So we're 20s down that end. So this is pin 1 this end, which will go to pin 1 that end. And so what you do is you just look at the pin numbering on the ends of the headers on the boards, and just go from pin 1 on this one, so it goes to pin 1 on the other one, and then you'll have it right. It'll sit right. Now, that, just move my glasses. Power on. I'll just see if this is going to boot up for me. Yep. That's all cool. So that's all good, so that should be fine. That's that. So now I'm just going to try the audio out on it. Let's see if we can get the audio working. Need to go from there. I should put my eyes on so I can see what I'm doing. Or a pair of eyes. We're going to go from there, and usually you'll take it off your sound chip. You'd take a track off close to this, but for testing purposes, I will just try taking it off where it comes out to go over to the video outboard, which that should be the right pin. Okay, I'm not getting it on the HDMI. It could be where I'm picking it up, that's the problem. let's see if I can pick it up, if it will allow me to. I just don't know if turn the volume up and just see if that works. No, I'm not picking anything up. There's something not quite. Oh, sorry, I can't do the sound on the HDMI. The video's working fine, so that's alright. So I'll turn the volume down. I've got to find out where the connector is to right, so what I will do is I'll turn that off and I'll pop this wire off. And I'll try and seat this down, and then I think we'll come back and you can see it running Tony's cartridge on the HDMI. Right, so what I'll do is I'll put the big camera so it's facing the screen with the HDMI on it, and we'll go from there. Right guys, so here's Tony's cartridge, Electric Adventures, and as you can see on here, there's the 3 games: Lunar Rescue, Depth Charge and Stunt Cycle. So let's have a look at the first one, shall we? And spacebar. The basic keys on these is up, down, left, right, and the spacebar if you're using the keyboard, or the joystick would be the other options. And some of them also do have difficulty levels, which is from numbers 1 to 9. They would just leave it on default, I think. We start up, and here we are. Oh, not too good there. And when we fly up, we can fire at the aliens. And you have to get it in the gap of the ship. If you don't, you'll actually die. You actually crash into the ship. And I'll see if I can show you what happens if we do that. Oh, and I died there. Oh, and again. So that's the Lunar Rescue one. So we'll try another one. Unfortunately, the Spectra video doesn't have a reset on it, and you've got to power it off and power it back on again. There was an option in one of the early Spectra video users groups that I remember, and they had an option to make a reset switch for the joystick port, and I must dig that article out and have another look at it, because that'd be an interesting little thing for us to do. So anyway, the next one on here is Depth Charge. And again, left and right, and the space bar will drop a depth charge. You got to try and miss the missiles that are coming up at you. And the further down you go, the more the submarine is worth. Oh, I got hit there again. And sometimes if you don't get out of the way in time, you'll get hit more than once. Oh, not as... I haven't played games for a long time, guys, so it's getting to the point of getting me coordination sorted. And of course, when you read, you can't drop a depth charge either. Right, game over. So it's a timed one, so you have a certain amount of time to do that in, and that's depth charge. So I mean, that's another nice little game. Now I'm hoping that this is coming out okay for you guys on the video. I won't know until I edit it and come back. I have been having a few problems with the Logitech 922, in that looking at the HDMI screen and the other screens, it seems to want to bleed out all the time, and it's like the white just goes mad on it, and I don't know why. To start with, when I first had it, it never did it, but it seems to now. But there's no sound on this either at the moment, because I don't have the audio through the HDMI, because there is an issue with it. So I'm doing a little bit better at this one. I think I'm going to have to get me speed up a bit more though. But yeah, neat little games, guys. So we're up to 6 buses now. So as you can see, it's a good little game. So as I say, I do hope that the colour screens are coming up okay for you. That the colours are very, very vibrant and very, very bright to actually look at. And I'm just hoping that this camera picks it up. If not, I may have to pick up another camera and then send this one in to find out what's going on with it, and get it replaced or repaired. It was through JB Hi-Fi, so they should just basically replace it, I think, with another one. Anyway, guys, so that's the games, and now we'll switch back and carry on with the wrap-up, shall we? So, guys, there we go. That's Tony's game cartridge. It's ROM, and it has all the information on it. As I said, it comes with the book. Certificate of authenticity, very, very nicely packaged, and the artwork is really, really cool as well. Tony's got a few more of those types of cartridges and games out too, if you're interested in them, and he does the cassette versions for people who want it as well. The other thing I've got is with the Tang Nano. This is the version 1 boards I was telling you about. This is a smaller, narrower board than the version 2. This goes on top of the socket on the piece in the Spectra video, and the Tang goes on the top. There is no ribbon cable. The only one there is to go to this, which goes to the VGA board, which gives you VGA out, and then you also have the HDMI on the Tang. The problem is with this is in the Spectra video is this board is long on the end, and there's a crystal, a capacitor, another capacitor, and something else down this end, and trying to get it in, you won't get it to sit. I did pop a socket in there to give me the height, and it gives me enough height to clear those. I plugged this in, plugged the Tang on the top of it, and went through the HDMI, but I was having intermittent issues with it, and I don't know if it likes going from socket to the board itself. Something I'll have a bit more play around with, and that, but anything that has more room around it, it'd be fine. The other thing I could look at doing is on a board is taking the capacitors out and probably laying them over and then just bending the legs and putting it on with the legs bent in the hole so it's flatter, and it would give us more room. That'd be the other thing. And the same as with the crystal, I could take crystal and desolder it, bend the legs, lay it over, and make some more room around the socket and see if that would fit that way. But I think that would be for another time and another video. So guys, we've got this working and fixed the problem, and the HDMI on the Tang Nano is working too. So that's working really, really well. I'm very, very pleased with that. The next thing I need to do is have another go at the Pico. That, from what I was talking to the guy, and from what he was saying, is that his code is in ROM and he loads it to RAM before it runs, and he's wondering if it's a timing issue, and that the Spectra video is asking for the video before it's set up and ready. So he's doing me a copy of the code which doesn't do that. It just loads it out of ROM and goes. It does not look at copying it and then running. So I'm going to get that and give that a try and see if that fixes that problem, and if it does, I'll put that in the next video too, so you can see what's going on with that, and we'll go from there. But other than that, guys, that's another one done and dusted, and as I always say, have a great day, have a great week. Until next time, ciao.